Well, hello everybody and welcome along to Bar TV's live and exclusive coverage of this afternoon's clash between the Rosellas and the Macquarie Scorpions. The winner goes through to next weekend's grand final against Lakes United. In the commentary box this afternoon, I'm going to be joined, as always, by Morgan Campbell. Gee, it's a wet day here today.
Certainly is, Peter. Anything could happen here today. It's one of those days, isn't it? When it's wet weather football, you just never know what can happen. And I think we could see any number of things happen here today. It's going to be a real lottery.
Do you think it will favour one side over the other?
Well, it's hard to know. I mean, West have got the best defence in the competition, so you've got to think that it helps them to have a sort of gritty game where points are going to be hard to come by. Macquarie have relied on that slick attack all year, and that's going to be difficult to pull off in these sort of conditions. But by the same token, it's one of those days that it evens out the field, and it could be just a bit of luck that turns the game.
And I guess previous results this year, Western Suburbs, they've played each other in round 5 and round 12. West have come away with a victory on both occasions, but I guess that all goes out the window 1 week out from the grand final.
Absolutely right, it certainly does. Having said that, during the final so far, the results have been pretty consistent with during the season, but Macquarie, they didn't really get too close to West when they played them late in the season. They're going to have to lift today.
Macquarie, of course, they're playing for their coach, Barry Moore. He's off next year. He's going to be replaced by Adam Bettrich. It's a side that's mixed with youth and experience, but if the tough gets going out here, possibly the youth might shine over West late in the match.
Yeah, that's right. Look, they're a fit young side, Macquarie, and maybe the conditions suit them in that way. It makes it a more physical contest. They're a big side as well. So, yeah, absolutely, that could be a factor as well. It's just one of those things that you're not going to know until they kick off and start belting each other.
As far as Western Suburbs go, the 6 and 7 is always pivotal, but Menyon's had a big year as well this year. The back rowers also looking to impress today.
West are that sort of side, aren't they? They've had the same team or the same core of the team for a lot of years in a row. They've won 3 premierships in a row. They can be very confident today. They're a good final side. In the last 5 minutes, when the game's on the line, they're the side that you expect to come up with something.
What about Macquarie? They haven't been to a grand final since the early 1990s. It's their time, isn't it?
Well, they hadn't won a finals game in their last 7 attempts, and then they came out last week against Cessnock. They had plenty of injuries, they had plenty of excuses, but they found a way to win, and they played better in a close game. I think they're a chance today. I've thought they're a chance all season. As I said, they're a good young side, they're tough, they're physical, but they like to use the ball. And if they can find a way to do it here today, you've got to think they're a chance.
We're going to have some fun in the commentary box this afternoon too. Rowan Kelly's coming along for the ride. We always have fun, don't we?
Yeah, we always have fun in the commentary box. But yeah, Rowan Kelly will be terrific. He's done a terrific job with Central this year, and he'll have a lot of insight into the game, you'd imagine. Knows what it takes to get a team to the finals, and it'll be good to have him along.
Fantastic. And if you'd like to get in contact with us on the Bar TV Twitter page, just hashtag Bar TV Sports, and we'll endeavour to read out your tweets throughout the match. Quick tip?
I'm going to go Macquarie.
Upset?
I'm going to push the boat out. I think it's their year this year to get there.
Okay. It will be a cracker, and we're not too far away to the big clash here at Central. So we'll take our final break and come back with the final. Who's it going to be playing Lakes in the grand final? Is it going to be Macquarie or West? Well, it's finals football. What a perfect afternoon for it as well. Maybe not, as I say good afternoon to Morgan Campbell. The sun has broken through, but Newcastle has had about 100 mils of rain, probably in the last 35 minutes. How have you survived the wind and the rain?
I think I got about 100 mils of rain on my head. That was unbelievable. It's well and good the sun's coming out now. I don't think it's going to make much difference to the game because it's going to be an absolute bog out there. It was so bad, in fact, that the third grade and the under-19s had to be played on the Kensington track over there on the other side of on the other ground. So reserve grades chopped up the ground nicely, but all's in readiness. This is going to be a cracker today.
It is. It will be an absolute cracker. Full time we've just had in reserve grade as well. South Newcastle has defeated Western Suburbs by 14 points to 6 to book their spot at Hunter Stadium as well. We're just waiting for the arrival of the captain coach of the Central Newcastle squad in Rowan Kelly. Really looking forward to having his contribution in the broadcast box this afternoon. He has tweeted in, Morgan, he has said that he is here and he's really looking forward to the opportunity to sit next to you here this afternoon.
Master of suspense, Rowan Kelly. He was just keeping us waiting, just keeping everybody guessing. Interesting side note about today's games, Pete. with some of the results we've had today, if Macquarie were to win first grade, Cessnock would be the only club that doesn't have representation on grand final day. So there's been 6 clubs qualify already, which is very good for the league and very good for the competition that you've had all these different clubs at various levels. We had an absolute belter of a game in third grade. I don't know if you caught any of that. People watching, I'd encourage you to watch the replay of Open Grade through the week on Bar TV because it was highly dramatic. And it's been a very big day here at Central, a very big crowd, and it's going to be a belter.
Well, speaking of Open Grade, the Curry Bulldogs got up over Lakes United by 22 points to 18. While in the under-19s preliminary final, what a day it is for the squad that is here today supporting the local side. Of course, Central Newcastle defeated Western Suburbs by 12 points to 8 to book their spot in next weekend's Rugby League Grand Final, which will be played at Hunters Stadium on the last Sunday of September. Hope the rain clears for that day. Well, a bumper crowd in here this afternoon at Central Newcastle. You know it's finals football. We got here about 1 o'clock and we had to park probably a K up the street. So that just gives you an indication of what sort of crowd is in here this afternoon. I'd say a crowd in excess of around 15 to 2,000 people. At the moment, the pictures on your screen are sort of... not a true indication of what we've had here in the last 3 to 4 hours. It has bucketed down.
I think the puddle on the halfway line should give it away, Peter.
The little puddle. But I've got to say, the ground, it does absorb pretty well here. You mentioned that you're going for a Macquarie Lakes Grand Final, Morgan. You still stick to that?
Yes, there's something about Macquarie this season. I think they're a chance. They've found a way. They found a way last week against Cessnock in a tight game. Despite being a team that likes to score a lot of points, last week against Cessnock, they just had to hang in and sort of find a chance late in the game, and they did it very well. And, well, Wests, they won the minor premiership, and it's easy for everybody to say, well, they're not as good as last year, they're not as good as the year before. They won the minor premiership. But I just see this game as a bit of a banana peel for them today. I think Macquarie might get the chocolates, but it'll be close.
Well, both of these sides both met back in round 5 a long time ago. Back in May, Western Suburbs got up on that day. They defeated Macquarie by a margin of 15 points to 8. They again met only a few weeks back in round 12, where West got up for the second time by 26 points to 18. Barry's Moore, the coach of Macquarie, last year as the coach, as we mentioned before he hands the reins over to Adam Bettrich. Now, for Macquarie fans, you can qualify today for only your 3rd grand final in your 55-year history. Last won the competition back in 1991, and ironically, on that day, you overcame today's opponent, the Western Suburbs Rosellas, by a margin of 21 points to 10. Back in 1991, Macquarie weren't called the Scorpions, they were called the Toronto Workers. As we see Rowan Kelly about to come into the commentary box this afternoon. Be great to see Rowan. Actually, Rowan's going to be very pivotal in our commentary this afternoon. He's going to play a big part, not just today, but he's also more than likely going to appear sometime next week in the grand final as well.
Well, Peter,
Rowan Kelly's here. Morgan.
Just to give you an idea, Peter, you can hear all that ruckus in the background. That's not actually from Macquarie and Western Suburbs. That's the Central crowd here giving a big ovation for Rowan Kelly coming up the steps. So they're very keen.
Well, Rowan, he's down on the sideline this afternoon for Bar TV. Let's go downstairs. It's a very wet Rowan Kelly. Good afternoon to you, Rowan.
Hey, Pete, how you going, mate? Yeah, it's a little wet down here at the moment, but should be a pretty good game. These two teams have done well all year, and I don't think the conditions will really bother them. I think it'll be a forwards battle either way, but I don't know. I think the Scorps might get up today.
Going for an upset.
Why not?
Well, the Scorps, as we mentioned, they haven't won the competition since 1991. Are they about to do it in 2015? But they've got a big hurdle to overcome here this afternoon. The Western Suburbs Rosellas. They've won 22 titles in the Newcastle Rugby League. They've played in 4 grand finals and won 3 over the last 4 years. They're going for 4 in 2015. We're underway. Finals football here on Bar TV. It's going to be Western Suburbs with the first use of the football. And coming back, it's Ryan Petro. And he takes the shot there over the top, about 15 metres out from his own goal line. Let's go back down to the sideline. Rowan's down there. Mate, it must be an absolute quagmire out there in the middle.
Oh, well, our lovely committee here at Central looked after us, and they put the lower grades down on the bottom ground, so the top grounds only had the reserve grade match on it. But yeah, it's going to be slow out there today. It won't dry up at all, but the sun comes out. It'll be interesting to see how much it gets chopped up.
So Morgan Campbell and captain coach of Central in the Bar TV commentary box. This is the first set here on Sunday afternoon football on Bar TV, and Randall Briggs is in there to assist with Matt Hay. Back then out of Porter, and the kick downfield, straight into the possession. Come the Scorpions, did well there at the back, and they've brought down Morgan here just on their own 30-metre line.
Yeah, good carry there from Malik Dale. He was one of the contenders for Rookie of the Year this season. He's only 17 and he's been absolutely terrific out on that wing for Macquarie. A decent early set there from West, but the kick straight down the throat of the winger took a bit of the sting out of it, and Macquarie now starting their first set of possession in very good field position.
They do. First time back inside Western Suburbs territory. Let's see what they've got in attack here. Of course, the winner goes through to next Sunday's real NRL Grand Final against Lakes United. Get your tickets early for that match. Whoever they play will be an absolute cracker. Where's Justin Smith? He's at the back. Diffuse the situation before he's being belted, and this might bring a penalty here this afternoon as we go down the sideline. Rowan for the first time in this match. And of course, our referee is John Taylor. Touch judges are Brendan Callender and also Greg Ricketts officiating this one as that ball goes sailing past your head, Rowan.
I'm looking forward to seeing Denny Vaughan out there today. It's interesting seeing that he's on the bench, and when he gets a bit of action out there, should be interesting. I'm sure he'll enjoy the conditions out here. I spoke to him before the game, and this is his kind of conditions and his kind of game. So I'm sure he'll make a massive impact for the Scorpions out there today, and it'll be interesting to see how West handle him.
This is Tafua. Takes the shot there of his opposite number in Matt Jeffrey. Who wants the ball now? Comes back to Warren Shillings. Hard and straight. He'll run at you all day long. Now to Williams. Again, Matt Jeffrey. Assisted there by Blake Chaffee. About 21 metres out from the Scorpions line. Shillings hits it up again. Inside the 20. 4 minutes gone here in the final. Brown off the boot of Gordon. Nice catch and diffused over there in goal. Morgan Campbell back out to the 20.
Well, both the wingers have had a test early on. Matt Hay just had to go above his head there to claim that one. Might have been a pretty difficult catch, but he did well.
Boys, it's interesting to see that Western made a few changes from what they've done in previous weeks. You'll notice that Steve Gordon's playing at 5'8", and Joel Brown's in the middle with Chris Knight on the bench. So I think that Botho's trying to look at possibly exploiting the Macquarie forwards and bringing on Knighty late in the half. So it'll be interesting to see. Joel hasn't played in the 9 jumper since the start of the year, so we'll see how his engine goes after about 20 minutes.
Rowan Kelly on the sideline this afternoon for Bar TV. Great to have his knowledge in the box as we head into the 5th minute of this clash. The Scorpions take it back inside the Rosella's territory for the second time here. Off the boot of Subner. The ball skirts along the ground. Justin Smith picks it up. And Subner, the kicker, comes through and wraps him up, Morgan Campbell, 10 metres out from his own line.
Well, there's been a knock on, Pete, and the crowd love it. So great field position here for Macquarie. Andrew Sumner's one of the most important men on the field today. He's so good for Macquarie at finding space with his kicks, hitting the turf, and on a day like this, that's rule number 1. So plugging the ball into those corners is going to be a real asset for Macquarie today.
Credit to everybody who's come across from the Toronto area into this ground on the other side of the lake to support the Scorpions. This is Matt Hay. 12 metres away. Schmidl. He wants the ball. Runs straight into Joel Brown. searching for first points here in the final. After 5 minutes, we're locked up. Gallen doesn't want to go into the ground. They go themselves. Good ball, good hole running. Put this for the first try. Scorpions are close. Held up.
Well, Josh Schmiedel has been doing damage running those lines all year, but on that occasion they scrambled really, really well to get under him. But
Great tackle. Matt Herman and Joel Brown there. Awesome.
So that was only the fourth as Jeffrey hits the activate button. Last tackle now for the Scorps. Subner ricocheted. Could be play on. Referee says exactly that. Question is, have they been able to ground the ball over the line?
Linesman said held up, Pete.
All the line.
So back through the middle again. Manson slipping over. It's all been the Scorpions. Are they able to turn this attack into points? Moran slipping over in the mud. Could be a penalty out the way to the Rosellas. It goes touchline. Rowan Kelly's down there. What was that penalty for, Rowan?
It was a bit of an obstruction there, but you know what? I mean, they had one good shot then, Macquarie, but they really didn't throw much at West. And you know, all good, due credit to West. They are a wonderful defensive team, and they scrambled really well then. But like to see Macquarie offer a little bit more. I think they tried to score. With sometimes it's better not to score, and had an opportunity to roll the ball in and missed it. And look, West got good field position there.
Losing it. There's a few errors in the game of the Rosellas. And you can see on the screen there, it's been pouring with rain in Newcastle for the last 24 hours.
It's been a bit of a feature of Western Suburbs this year. It's been one of the things that's been different from previous years is that they have given sides a lot more chances than they might have done in the past. We have a look at the replay.
Exactly.
Pretty simple not
Lost it.
Moran, great shot under the ball in this weather. That's what's going to make the errors.
So Jeffrey, slowly to his feet. He finds Simon Allen. He takes Jade Porter on the back of him down to the 30-metre line. Now to Noble. Away to Subner. Turning it back on the infield to Shafi. Centre field, 35 metres out. Subner goes himself. And Peter Mannion. He was awake to the brilliance there of Subner. Now to Jeffrey. Hits it up to the 20-metre line. Last tackle now for the Scorpions. Moran puts one in the in-goal area. Smith's back there. He's got to get back into the field of play. And he's not. Trapped in goal. Goal line dropout. Great little kick there from the Scorpions.
Excellent set there, Pete, by the Scorps. Well done. They got a repeat set, and hopefully this will tire the West Rosellas boys out. A few boys down, hands on the hips there. Warren Shillings sucking in the big guns. So here's the Scorps get an opportunity here.
Not the best goal line dropout that you'll ever see, but it managed to go 30 metres. Bit of a grubber, wasn't it?
I didn't teach him that at school, Joel Brown. There's no way.
That just gives you an indication of how soft this ground is. Out to the 20-metre line. Scorpions. It's been all them in possession. Are they about to go on the attack again? That's Manson giving it away to Jeffrey. He takes the line on and runs straight into Richardson. About 8 metres out. Back to Subner. Away to Allen. The ball pops out. And Tafua spinning it from right to the left edge. And now Gordon.
It's well and good West giving Macquarie the chances, but they've got to take them because you know that when West get down Macquarie's into the field, they're going to be throwing a hell of a lot at them. So they've had 2 cracks at the West line already in this game, and they haven't come up with anything. That's got to be a worry for Barry Moore.
Simon Allen and the Macquarie Scorpions in there with Gallen. Back to Mannion. Being with the club seems like an eternity. They're up quickly, and Andrew Subner takes a tackle which had to have been made. Back to Smith. Now Porter kicking in between the fullback and the winger. Manson puts the boot out, bends down, collects it, finds Matt Hay, And he does his best before Tafua combines with Steve Gordon and stops him in his tracks. Just on his own 20-metre line. Let's go back down to the sideline. Rowan Kelly's down there for Bar TV.
Scorps making their first change. Denny Vaughan coming onto the field now. So it'll be very interesting to see his impact. He hasn't played for a long time. You'll see his arms heavily taped. So it'll be interesting to see his impact.
Look at this. Driving defence from Matt Herman.
Come up the white line and play the ball. 3, Josh.
Yeah, Danny Vaughan went down with that broken arm in about round 4 up at Cessnock and hasn't played since. But I would have thought, unless that arm was hanging off, he probably wasn't going to miss a preliminary final for Macquarie. Having played with him for a lot of years and having seen a bit of heartache in the finals, he would have done everything possible to get out there today, and he's a big inclusion for them.
That was Jeffrey playing the ball back. There's the kick, just short of the halfway line. Well fielded at the back by Justin Smith. And Jeffrey hits him with everything he's got in his tank. Now Callan Richardson goes for a dig from dummy half. Made 6-7 metres, just short of the 40. Mannion to the halfway line. So 0-0 after 12 minutes.
Don't spill.
Land to the 40. Brown awaits. Wanted a penalty, didn't come. Gordon giving it away. They're over there on that eastern side of the field, aren't they? This is Randall Briggs over the top to put Herman into the turf. So it's the last tackle now for the Rosellas. Porter kicking away from Manson. Sits up in the in-goal area. Beats one. And he's back into the field of play. Let's go touchline. Rowan Kelly. What a fantastic effort there by the fullback.
Yeah, it was. It was great. I was just about to say before, it's an interesting game so far. You're looking at Macquarie's kick chase has been really good, but that was a fantastic kick chase by West. And look, we're on tackle 3 now, and they're certainly asserting their authority now. It's going to be one of those games. It's just going to be an arm wrestle the whole game and field position. But here we go. Here's a penalty, and hopefully help out the Scorps.
I haven't seen too many penalties, but a little bit of tension in here. A lot on stake. A trip to Hunter Stadium for the grand final. So he's just calling over. One or two of the Scorps just to have a chat with them, saying, hey boys, you got the penalty. So they just got to decide which side of the field they're going to kick to. And Randall Briggs decides to go towards the eastern side of the Ferris field. Here. And that helps their course to get back out of their own danger end. And that's tackle just on the 40-metre line. They're first. Running it to Tafua. See there. Check out the mud. As we mentioned, if you just tuned into the telecast, it's been raining all morning here in Charlestown. The sun has just come out in the last hour or so, but it is an absolute quagmire. Scorpions advancing it over the halfway line again. Gallen. Here's the kick. They're going to go high. Smith is at the back. Diffuses it.
Hasn't the handling been good from the back threes at both sides so far in this game? 15 minutes in and there hasn't been a mistake. They've been under a bit of pressure and kept catching the ball, so very encouraging. You mentioned Mitch Manson earlier. Well, Macquarie owe their place in this final to him. He made an absolute classic around-the-legs tackle on Sean Metcalf last week when he looked certain to score, and that would have levelled the scores up at 16 all. So Mitch Manson, very important player for Macquarie today as they lift in defence.
And the crowd enjoying that. Noble. Hooker in there along with his prop in Jeffrey. To the halfway line. Sumner's been everywhere in attack and in defence, as you'd expect. Back to Porter. He says, boys, let's kick it in a touch and have a breather.
It's a good option by West. Jade Porter showing a fair bit of experience there, and they can see that a few of their boys are puffing pretty hard, and let them have a little bit of a blow here. 30 metres out from the Macquarie line.
So 15 minutes have elapsed for a tight one. 0-0. Winner to progress through to the grand final. We'll take on Lakes United next weekend.
Push it through.
One of the
All
things-
Grades going to be live on Bar TV too next Sunday.
One of the things about this season has been that with so many wet weather washout weekends, the teams haven't played a lot of wet weather football because every time there's been a drop of rain, they've called the games off. So there hasn't been a lot of experience of playing in these conditions. This is probably the first time both these sides have played in the mud all year.
I think Lakes are happy.
Absolutely.
Whoever they tackle next weekend, they're going to be half worn out, possibly. This game has got everything. As you'd expect here in the final, Mannion running across field. Intercepted! Macquarie all the way! Shut the gate! They're going to score the first try of the match underneath the post. That's how you do it. The Western Suburbs, they tried to chance their luck. But unfortunately, their luck could only go so far, and Jack in the Box sprung up.
Well, Randall Briggs, he chanced his luck too. Whenever you come flying up like that to take an intercept, you're really gambling, but he judged it right, took it in one hand. It was a great catch in the conditions, and he was never a chance of getting run down. That's a sensational try for Macquarie, completely against the run of play, and they're out to an early lead.
Well, this was Mannion going across field, and look at him. Right on the nick of time to run away and score underneath the post. He knew that that was probably going to occur. And look how he celebrated that try. Rowan, you got a monitor down there on the sideline thanks to William Hill. Talk us through this one. This was quite impressive there by the centre three-quarter.
It was. I really don't think West need to do that. I was just about to say Denny Vaughan had a bit of a brain fade with his tip on there and knocked the ball on, but West had excellent field position. I don't think they need to do the shift, and Randall Briggs there, always on the spot. Lucky enough to play with Randall a few years ago, and he got a couple of them himself. So, yeah, very well done by the Scorpions there.
It was the perfect start. It was all the Scorpions. But finally, they've been able to pluck it out of the air and run 40 metres and give Matt Hay quite an easy kick from right in front of the black dot. Kicking towards the northern end. You'll hear the crowd. There they are, they roar with delight. Try converted, 6-0 after 17 minutes here on Bar TV.
Oh, we'll hear the crowd all right. It's raucous up here this afternoon. It's absolutely chockers in the grandstand, and every time anything happens, there's plenty of racket being made, so our effects mics are copping a pounding.
How are you going down the sideline, Rowan? The crowd up here is absolutely getting into it. Must be great privilege to sit down here on the sideline in the final. Deafening stuff up here. What's it like down there?
It's a great crowd here at St John Oval. It was a bit ordinary earlier with the weather, but yeah, it's been great. I just want to give a shout out to our under-19s for their victory today over West, 12-8. It's fantastic to see our club in another grand final next week.
Well, the day's going to start bright and early at Hunter Stadium.
It'll be a big day, Pete, a big day.
Get there early. This is Jeffrey running straight, as you'd expect, into Petro. They're about to cross the halfway line. Jeffrey. Here's the kick. This is a better one. This is over the top of Richardson's head. This is going to go in towards the in goal area. He's got a bit of work to do, the winger. Dialou's in there, assisted by Noble, and they wrap him up, Morgan Campbell, just short of his 10-metre line.
Well, they've lifted after that try, haven't they, Macquarie? A bit of belief. Getting that first try will do the world of good for them, and they're up quickly in defence. They're looking really keen, but they're too keen. They've given away a penalty.
Penalty from right in front. Referee there, taking a few hands in there. Western Suburbs, they don't waste any time at all, but they've failed to find touch.
Well,
Coach Killer,
Coach
especially in a final, let alone any game of rugby league. You can't afford to do that against any side, let alone the Scorpions.
Who would have thought giving away a penalty would be so good for field position? Dear, oh dear.
Noble, come back on the infield. The Rosellas under the pump here in the first 20 minutes of this final. Back to Manson. Petro wrapping him up along with Peter Mannion. 6 points to nil in the final. Back to Subner. He offloads it. Now to Allen. Ball pops out the back. Referee said it's gone backwards. Last tackle now. Gallen Back to Subner. Kicking away. Where's Allen? He's coming through. Oh, the slippery ball might have come off his knee and got over the dead ball line.
No try.
No try.
Knock on.
Well, you can put that down to the slippery conditions. He was just sliding like we're at the
Really worried
ton of
about
fun.
Really worried about the lack of urgency there by the West back three, and even the blokes around the ball. That was a short kick from 5 metres out, and really there was no West player within cooee of it. That's the big front rower trying to knock the ball down.
The Western Suburbs dodged a ball there. This is Tafua running hard into Gallen. Good offloading him. Back to Mannion, spinning away from Subner. Subner comes back for the second time and takes his ankles and everything else in between. Back to Brown, giving away now to Petro. Haven't seen this end of the field much, have they? In the first 20 minutes of the match. Tafua offloading the Porter. Great ball to Smith. Even better ball than Mannion. Out the back, it's going to bounce. Williams looks up at the defensive line and takes the shot of Reece Jeffrey. Last tackle now for the Rosellas. Where's Porter? He's going to go high to the air. Manson coming through and takes it. In goal.
Penalty.
No, penalty. Let's go touchline. Rowan Kelly's down there for Bar TV. A penalty here, 10 metres out from the Scorpions goal line.
Yeah, I think it was a hit after the kick then, but to be honest, I'd be taking the 2 here. I think West need to get on the board here. They need to get some points. It'll help them a bit, and then gives them a bit more control to hopefully complete the next set. But they probably won't, but that's what I'd be doing.
What would you be doing, Morgan Campbell?
Yeah, I can see where Rowan's coming from here. It was Jordan Noble who came through. He wasn't that late. It was just a shoulder charge, but I don't think he was that late. So it was a close decision there from John Taylor.
So back to the live pitches. Only 2 metres out. The Rosellas looking for their first points. Gordon turns it back on the inside. They're running close. Can they stop them? They're spinning. They're weaving. This is Jermaine Ale. Held up. That was only the first 2 tackles. So they're mounting pressure. And the Scorpions defending pretty much for the first time. In a way they are right now to try and stop the big number 18, Mark Tafua. Plays the ball back. Brown goes himself and scores! First try to the Rosellas. It was coming. 6-4 kick to come here on the Bar TV scoreboard. Morgan Campbell.
Well, I think Barry Moore will be very disappointed with that. It was a pretty simple run out of dummy half from Joel Brown. It's the old thing that you learn on your first day of rugby league training. The bloke with the football is the most important man on the field, and everybody was looking at what Joel Brown was going to do and who he was going to pass to, and he thought, well, I'll just go this myself, and he could have driven a bus through there. So the first try to West, after Macquarie really had dominated the opening to the game.
Let's go touchline. Rowan Kelly. Looks so easy there for Joel Brown.
Yeah, very simple try there for Brownie. Josh Smeedle just pushed up outside the ball. He wanted to take some metres off them, which is what you could coach to do, but in the end you've got to make sure you're controlling the bloke who's got the ball, and it was one of Joel's easiest tries. He'll score, and I'm sure Steve Gordon's kicking, so Joel's not kicking anymore, so he can't even have the 2.
Rowan, the Scorpions are on screen right now. Jeffrey barking instructions to them. What's going through their minds, do you think, right now?
Oh, I mean, they've had all the field position in the first half, and they're still going to be 6 points all. There's still 15 minutes to go in the first half, so they'll be looking at a good completion set, letting West get to their kick in this half, and hopefully trying to keep them down their end as much as they possibly can. As we said, it's a field position game. West got a penalty then. They decided not to take the 2. Now they've come up with 6 points, which is fantastic for them. But Macquarie just need to keep doing what they've been doing in the first 25 minutes of the first half, and that's holding the ball and keeping field position, keeping kick chase and all those things. And it'll eventually turn. West haven't made an interchange yet, so it'll be interesting to see when they bring on some changes, whether they'll bring Chris Knight into the action soon.
For the Macquarie Scorpions, they're doing it without Mitch Corrish off the replacement bench this afternoon. David Dryden has come into the Rosellas 17 to replace Felice Tafeo as well.
Jezelenko, you beauty. Justin Smith above the head there. That was a great take.
That's the 30-metre line, and that is Gordon. So 6-all here in the final of the Newcastle Rugby League. Winner to play Lakes. Eagerly watching on the coverage to see who will they be taking on at Hunter Stadium next Sunday at 3 o'clock. What a remarkable year it's been for Lakes. Who will be their opponents? Cole Clark. Back to Smith. Wrapped up there from Shamidal, who was the representative player of the year in 2015. The award ceremony. They've got the ball back west. This is where they're dangerous. This is where they can really carve you up. And Steve Gordon knows how to do that. He gets the try. Second try of the game for Western Suburbs. They lead 10-6.
Well, we said in our preview, didn't we, Peter, that on a day like this, a bit of luck makes all the difference, and I think Warren Shillings was the beneficiary there. It was a clever little kick to ask the question, but he got a very favourable bounce here. As the ball came through, it seemed to just sit up for him, and he was able to grab it, get the pass away to Steve Gordon, and it was all over from there. And that's what West can do. They haven't had the better of this game. They've been getting belted by Macquarie, and then all of a sudden, they're 10-6 in front.
We're just having a look at the replay, just seeing if he was behind the kicker. We might be able to have another look at that replay right now,
It looked
courtesy of Bar TV. There wasn't much in it.
No, it looked a little bit dubious, didn't it?
Here it is right now, Morgan. Let's just slow it down frame by frame. I think he's in front of the kicker.
I reckon he might be.
Rowan down the sideline. Only a fraction, but in front of the kicker, do you think?
Oh, it's pretty hard to tell. I guess you've got to go with the officials. They're wonderful in the Newcastle League, aren't they, Gavin? So we'll go with the try there. In the end, that's what we said to West about West. They can come back and score back-to-back sets, and the game certainly turned on its head in the last 5 minutes. So it's up to Macquarie now. They need to get their shit back in order and get back into it. Said ship too with a P.
We're close to the beach here, Morgan. You've spent many a Morgan out here at Caves Beach. Here's that kick from Gordon looking to convert his own try. And there we go. West go to the front by 12 points to 6, but there's suspicion on the try. I'm prepared to say that.
There you go. You're calling it. So you're telling me in the company of 15 referees from the Newcastle region, you're saying that was a bad decision.
Correct.
That's bravery personified.
I'll say it to go with you.
Fair play, Peter.
Going with me,
No
Rowan?
try.
No try.
Look at that tomorrow, Gavin.
To clarify for viewers, we're sitting up here in the Bar TV cabin, and everywhere around us is all the referees and officials, so we've got to be careful what we say.
Do we? 15 metres out from the
Worst
halfway
nightmare.
line. Well, in the defence of the referee, there wasn't much in it. We're on the not a crook angle, but not directly in line, but it did appear that they might have got that one incorrect. 12-6 in the final. John Taylor hoping to go through to the grand final next weekend. Graham Stair breathing down his neck. Diallo at the back.
Couldn't ask for a better kick after points, could you? Put it between the fullback and the winger almost perfectly. But then the chase a bit too keen, and Macquarie get out of trouble. So they, on the one hand, they're doing everything right, and then they're doing everything wrong, West.
Barry Moore looking on. He's perched up there on the Ferris Field hill. Wonder what he'll have to say, but they just got to put that out of the system and get on with it. No use crying over spilt milk. We're going to read about it tomorrow in the Newcastle Herald, and it's on the Bar TV scoreboard. As the Rosellas heading in numbers, that was Mannion. They're about to cross the 40. Let's go touchline. Rowan Kelly's back down there for Bar TV.
And Macquarie just got to be careful not to panic now. I know they're down 12-6, but in the end, they've been the better team for all but about 5 minutes of this first half. So they've got to be very careful not to panic and try and go back into their shell, because that's what West will want them to do. Go back through the middle, play to their strengths. But Macquarie got to keep using the ball like they have been. I know it's wet, but that's their only chance to beat West today, and I think they've got the team to do it.
Charge down. Subner Referee says 6 to go. Spot on. And the crowd respond to that, cheering their Macquarie Scorpions in the back half of the first half. Down by 6. One last at premiership back in 1991. Over the Western Suburbs Rosellas by 21 to 10. You were there?
I was there. I was a little boy that day. My old man took me over, and I remember Mal Graham spraying the West club after he was raising the trophy. It was a very vivid memory for myself back when I was a little 9-year-old, I think.
And back in 91, they were called the Toronto Workers. Now to Shamidal.
Must have been tempted to throw that. Must have been tempted.
That's the 10-metre line. 10 minutes to go before the break. Rosellas. Is it time to batten down the hatches? Noble giving it back to Gallen. Overlap out here. Great ball. Manson giving it away. Oh, what a tackle! Jeffrey has been smashed.
Jade Porter.
And the water goes up as well. They're close. Are they even better than close? It's going to be a try. The second try in the final will try and pinpoint the try scorer. But that's what you want leading into the break. 12-10 kick to come.
Well, they went through the backs. It was a great bit of play. Jade Porter came across and absolutely belted Royce Jeffrey, as you said, and then Blake Gallen said, yeah, give it to me straight ahead, and bashed through them and scored a try. Similar to the way Hayden Jeans did last week for Lakes at Harker Oval. And the West defenders, those big forwards, will be disappointed to have missed them last week and then again this week. And it's just what Macquarie needed, as Rowan said. They might have been starting to panic, but they've lifted on the back of a big charge from Blake Gallen.
Well, I'm still getting over the tap over the top of the shoulder. How
Blake
good
Gallen.
was that? It was Blake Gallen underneath 5 Rosellas. And John Taylor right in the thick of it there to award the second try of the afternoon.
Bit of afters as well. It's bubbling away nicely.
And Matt Hay.
And Pete, that's what Macquarie have to do. They keep have to throw on the ball around, throw different things at West, because that's bringing them undone. You know, if they keep going into their shell and playing straight up the middle, it's going to make work hard for them. So,
It's coming around. It's going to sneak through. What a conversion. What a match. It's the final we've expected at Morgan, and it's lived up to expectation.
Tell me something, Peter. Would our Bar TV insurance cover a new set of eardrums for all of us? Dear, oh dear. What about the racket that's being made up here?
You're talking about industrial deafness?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It's the great facilities we have here at St John Oval.
It's wonderful acoustics. Yeah.
Well, we've bought a special effects mic as well this week too, Morgan. That might have something to do with it. You know, reverb. It's going straight through your ear holes, is it?
Yeah, look, you say what you like. This is all going in an affidavit.
Chris Knight out there now for West. Interesting change.
Look out.
Okay, Rowan Kelly's down on the sideline. Penalty here to the Scorpions, just on their own 10-metre line.
Yeah, a bit of lift in the tackle there. And the Macquarie side all went up like Mitchell Johnson had just taken a wicket. They were appealing to the referee, so they must have seen something. And he obliged with the touch judge's help. So now they're out of their own territory again and able to put some more pressure on West. This is ebbing and flowing nicely, this game. It's a really good contest.
3 Rosellas. Shillings gets off them. Tafua was in there. They go back and clean it up on the 40-metre line. Hands possibly in there. Oh, hello. They've lost that football. You can't do this with 7 minutes to go before the break up against the minor premiers.
Yeah, Isaac Briggs there. I think he was thinking about what he was going to do with it before he had it. And he acknowledges it was a bit of a blue. So West now get a chance. 5.5 minutes to go.
That happened right in front of Rowan Kelly down there on the sideline.
Yeah, I think they might have dodged a bit of a bullet there, West, because I think it was a knock-on just before that as well. So ample opportunity here, 40 metres out from the Macquarie line. Let's see what they've got.
They attack the Ferris Field end of the ground.
I still just think any points now. I know there's 5 minutes to go till half-time, so whether it's somehow they can kick a field goal or penalty goal or whatever, I'd be trying to get whatever points I possibly can.
And if you can't come away with points, drop one into the in-goal area and possibly get the ball back. That's the 20-metre line.
We saw when that line dropout went in earlier that it's not great drop kicking conditions out there today. You can't get much bounce off the turf, which could make it interesting late if they go to extra time or something.
Porter kicking in the in-goal area. Mannion's flying through. And the Scorpions go away and ground it. Goal line dropout. 6 more tackles coming up for the minor premiers. And don't forget, you can get in contact with us here in the commentary box via Twitter. Just hashtag BarTV or also hashtag Rowan Kelly. We'd love to read out anything that you've got to the commentary side this afternoon.
Oh, mate, big one from one young Steve Kidd up there in downtown Curry. You know, he's already been down here today and he's popped back up there saying that Bar TV apparently short staff for getting me on there today. So, one of your best, Kitty. I know he's listening, he'll be enjoying it.
Callan Richardson. Will they look to him at the end of this set? This is Mannion. Blake Gallen getting off him from the Scorpions. Chris Knight away to Porter. Running it back on the infield, but luckily Jordan Noble was there for the Scorpions. Back through Knight. Offloading, they're getting closer. They're getting closer.
Won't count, come back.
Referee getting closer to call it back as well. Scrum will pack down. Scorpions will feed it 10 metres out from their own line. Morgan Campbell.
Well, we saw a similar thing to that in the open grade preliminary final earlier today. There was huge drama because one of the Curry players was alleged to have knocked the ball on, according to the Lakes United crowd. And the referee, everybody stopped, and the referee said play on, and the Curry winger went scampering up the touchline and scored and won the game in golden point extra time. So there might have been a few shades of that there with that run, but you've got to play to the whistle, don't you, at whatever level you're at.
Just take a look there of Reggie Saunders. Rowan, you played with him down at Wyong a few years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a year with Reggie down in 2012 down at the Mighty Roos, and big shout out them today, going through to the New South Wales Cup Grand Final, so they had a win today over Canterbury, which is fantastic. So yeah, I had a great year with Reggie that year. It was my last year down there.
Noble not going far. That's his 20-metre line. The ground, an absolute quagmire. Pretty much throughout the entire 100 metres, but especially for the Scorpions coming outside their own 20-metre zone here. Peter Mannion's in there. That's him getting off Chris Knight in defence. Here's the kick inside the 40. That's come off the side of the boot, and it's just found touch right in front of Rowan Kelly, 30 metres out from the Rosellas goal line.
Yeah, I think Cal was a bit worried then about what to do with it, whether to catch it on the floor or not. He decided to let it bounce, and they're going to have the scrum now. Big shout out to Cal Richardson. I've known him since he was a little fella. He's ex-Central boy, so it makes me sick seeing him in the West colours, but yeah, good luck to him. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a quality player, and I wish him all the best on an individual basis, should I say, Pete.
You keep an eye on those tweets and let us know if we've got any more throughout the match. Danger time now here for the Scorpions, Morgan. Speaking of danger, here they go, up over the halfway line. This is Williams.
Well, it'd be just like West to score now. It would be just like them. Let's see if Macquarie can hold out.
Mannion takes the shot of Allen. Knight. Porter. That's Cole Clark. Danny Vaughan in 14 drops off him so he can play the ball. Knight scampering to the 20-metre line. Lost the football. An error leading into the break from the Rosellas here. 20 metres out from the Scorpions goal line.
Well, it's been one of their classic plays over the years, West, when they've had their best success, that they might just be level pegging, and then just before half-time they'll get a chance and sink the boot in. And we see here on the replay, it's a pretty simple error. It was Chris Knight jumping out of dummy half and the ball just bobbled out, as you'd expect it to do plenty of times today in weather like this. But yeah, that's a big escape there for Macquarie, and I reckon they'd be pretty happy to go in at 12-all, considering what's gone on in this first half.
Moran running it hard and straight towards the 20. Getting contact with Rowan. Hashtag BarTV. Well, Rowan, what's your Twiddle handle down there on the sideline? How can they get in contact with you via Twitter, mate?
Oh, just at the bar TV. I haven't got that many friends.
You've got 400 that's quite a lot.
Half time.
Well, we're going to the break. Locked up here in a Titanic final. After 40 minutes, 12 all. Not much separating both of these sides. Western Suburbs and the Scorpions. Of course, Rowan's going to be finding his way into the camps at halftime to find out what they've both have to say. But before you go, what do you think Barry Moore will have to say from the first 40 minutes?
Oh, I mean, on a personal level, I think Barry's got to be really positive at half-time. I mean, all but a 5-minute period, they were the dominant team of the whole half, so they need to be very positive about that. In the second half, they really need to make sure they control field position, and it might look ugly at times, but who cares if you're going to be playing in the grand final next week? They need to find field positions, but also they need to throw the ball around. In regards to what Dean Botham would be saying, he'd be ecstatic considering Macquarie have had all the run of the ball this first half. So I'm sure he'll be saying make sure they control the ball a bit. But I mean, it was a pretty even first half in the end, and that's why we're at 12 all.
Okay, well, we might take a break here and come back for the second 40. Who's it going to be after the next second half to take on Lakes United at Hunter Stadium next Sunday? A break and back to Charlestown on the other side of this break.
I'm just going to wait these boys out of piss and then I'll flush it. I'll clean it off. Isn't that a cleaner football? Halfway. Yeah. You've done it before then too. Oh, great call. That's a couple of really good calls. Yeah, with you on that penalty shoulder thingy. But yeah, that's what I want. I want that. Yeah, but he didn't have to do what he did, you know. It was, I bet you won't penalty. Yeah, you only just put the shoulder on the kicker. That was a penalty. But
I'm thinking in my head,
yeah, they're idiots. If they think we weren't going to penalise them. That's right. It wasn't the fact it was like there to hit him. If you'd done this, bit of warm water, bit of cool.
Really good. Like it's actually looking really slick. So it's looking Channel 9-esque. So
it's hard because I didn't want to go too far. Like, if you want to get
and it's one of those tough grounds as well because it's so low. So it's looking sick. So 40 minutes to out, 40 minutes to go. I'll leave you to it. We're and the sideline guy is like clock the sideline, so hopefully he seems unbelievable. We have very good hopefully we don't beat the rugby team. He'll do really well. So too easy. I'll leave you to enjoy. Cheers, bud. The rugby is almost he was very actively covering. He was stopping, but I'm like, no, this is
Yeah, he ran straight down, hey. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
He did it last week too, remember? But they were all... He couldn't get anyone to talk to him because they were all like doing stuff.
Yeah, no, he was like, I'll go down and interview whoever I can find.
Yeah. It's a good day for it too, because it's like...
That was the thing, like, we didn't have a man of the match, we didn't have a number of match, but we just had, like, this interview, and like, I don't care who you grab some man who's just jumped first and about to get arrested, and just, last final words.
No, you're right. I'm worried about him on the way. I can't see to call the action. Yeah, cool.
We're just throwing up.
I think
There's your ears. I'm worried about your ears.
you'll be hearing from my voice.
Between them
Well, I know that if I turn the crowd down, this bloke punching his shoulder can turn it up. Oriel keeps throwing to it. You can hear the crowd in the background. That's it. All right.
Well, here we go. Second half here. What a match. 12 all right here on Bar TV, the home of Newcastle Rugby League. Rowan Kelly on his way back from the dressing sheds to find out what Botham and Barry Moore had to say. Will it be Barry Moore's last address to his players, or will he and his side live to fight another day? Not just another ordinary day, a grand final spot awaits.
Well, games like this, when it's close like this and it gets into the last 10 or 15 minutes, it's really going to come down to the brains of the players, isn't it? The decisions that they make and the little bit of luck that they might get. This is going to be a cracking second half.
And here we go. Sit back and enjoy this one. This is Adam Grew to the 20-metre line. The crowd is pumped and eager. There must be over 1,000 supporters that have travelled across from Scorpion territory. And the first penalty of the second half off the whistle of John Taylor. And they don't muck around at all and find the touch line right on the halfway line. Rowan's been into the sheds. He's found out what both sides have had to say at halftime. Let's go touchline. First of all, what did Barry Moore have to say for the Scorpions, Rowan?
I mean, he was very happy with their first half performance. Obviously, he thought they might have been a little bit more in front, but he understands it's going to be a grind, and he just wants them to stick to their game plan and keep doing what that's been their strength all season.
Botham, what did he have to say?
He's ecstatic with where they're at. Obviously, he admits that they haven't been the best team all for the first half, and at the moment they're 12 all. So they need to get back to their basic game plan and get back to holding the ball in good field position, and they'll be right.
We'll come to Morgan Campbell after this set. This is Gallen. He takes it down to the 10-metre line, put down there from Peter Mannion. He'll get to his feet and play the ball back. They work the left-hand side of the field. They're dangerous out here on the edge. They've been dangerous out on the edges all year. Why stop now in a final when you're one game away from a grand final? This is Sumner, puts it in the in-goal area. And the Rosellas are back there to defuse the situation. Right on their own goal line, Morgan.
Well, that's the kick. That's the kick in this weather, isn't it, from Andrew Sumner? Jamming it back under the posts, along the ground, and you just buy a ticket in the lottery. And it didn't work for them that time. But if you keep kicking it in there in these conditions, they're going to get the fumbles eventually, and you're going to get the ball back in good position. So even having had that kick diffused, West are coming out of their own end and really labouring. So a really good start to the second half from Macquarie.
38 minutes away. Lakes waiting anxiously to see who they're going to take on. Will it be Wests? Will it be Macquarie? If we're locked up after 80 minutes, we'll play for 5 minutes. And if we haven't got a result after that, we could be here all night. Will it go that far? Let's see. Diallo.
That's a possibility, Josh, the way these two teams are playing. They might have to turn the lights on. The lights aren't that good here, actually.
I'm sure the canteen will be keen on it.
The hot dogs will be going up. The revenue will be coming in. We might have to get the cars and bring them in like Harker Oval. Can we get cars in here, Rowan? This is Gallen. Losing it is Briggs. On his own, opposition's 20. Well, they've just got to calm down a bit. Not chance their arm in every opportunity.
Well, a chance squandered there by Macquarie with some good field position. I've just heard some very disturbing news from one of our, as the ball came across here to Gallen, I just heard some very disturbing news from one of the referees here, Tom Aylett, who's just told me that the canteen's out of food. So I hope we're not here until 4 o'clock in the morning. It'll be survival of the fittest.
There's still plenty of beer there.
Tuies.
That's the main thing.
There's a penalty to the Rosellas here. I've got to say, not too many Rosellas are in here in attendance today. The crowd support definitely behind the Scorpions. 37 minutes of normal time remaining.
Well, 5 minutes of pressure to start the second half. West have got a big chance with a sucker punch here.
Petro finding Tafua. Haven't seen too much of Tafua. They haven't allowed him to play that expansive game that we know about. He's just lost the football cold there, Tafua. And the crowd giving him Watto here. And John Taylor can't argue with him. He was right in front of that.
Yeah, no, nothing there. Simple drop ball.
Yeah, happy to be contradicted by the replay, but I think he just spilt this. He just wasn't hanging on to it.
I mean, there's hands all over the ball. Yeah.
The grease, the mud
Let's just say a loose carry.
That's putting it nicely. Out to the 40-metre line they come. Pressure, not just on the field, but the crowd really getting behind the Scorpions. The fans haven't been to a grand final since 1991. Long time before drinks. That's when they last won the grand final over Western Suburbs by 11 points. Number one sports ground back in 91.
It's Harker Oval, actually,
Was it
Pete.
Harker?
Sorry to correct you, it was. That's what made Mal Graham's captain acceptance speech even better, considering West
And
sacked
they
him
got
the year
over like
before.
12,000 that year
Yeah,
as
it was-
well. It was a massive crowd.
Yep. I was struggling to find my old man that day. He was right near the bar the most of the day.
This is Lamb out there, diffused the situation quite nicely.
Cal Richardson, actually.
Richardson
Sorry, Pete.
over there, switch wings.
He's been fantastic today.
The two redheads, Lamb and Richardson, barging their way forward. Look at this run. This is Ryan Lamb losing the football though.
Referee Taylor's going to have a word here. I think he's going to upset Macquarie and say
Yeah.
that they knocked it out. I think he's going to say Macquarie knocked this out and he's going to give it back to West, but it's been a very scrappy start to the second half. There's both sides flat out getting 3 tackles in without spilling the ball, as you'd expect, I suppose, on a day like this. But if one of those sides can hold on to it and just put 1 or 2 clear bits of play together, that might be the difference in the game.
They both teams look panicked at the moment. They know what's at stake, obviously, with the grand final and it being so tight and the conditions like that. But they just need to stick to their basics and holding the ball, carrying strong, like Matt Herman is doing here right now. Good run. He can't play cricket though, Matt Herman, though. I play against him.
He's going to have a long off season. What's he going to play now?
Croquet.
Is he okay at croquet?
He opens the batting for Cricketers Arms Hotel. He's not a bad batsman, but when I caught him out last year, it was very nice.
Forward pass there. Big appeal for forward pass, and it has been given eventually, I think. Yeah, the linesman there.
A late call. A call that they got right. Greg Ricketts out here on the western touchline. On the other side is Brendan Callender. As we look at the replay.
Yeah, pretty clear decision. It was one of those ones, wasn't it? Ryan Petro, he was in front of the ruck as he took that ball. So
Wallen Schilling. He likes to play flat, Shillo, so I couldn't see that happening again today.
This is Diallo. Eight minutes gone. Second half. Titanic battle. Down to the 30-metre line, they storm onto it. Isaac Briggs. Inching their way down. That's Manson, losing it. Rosella's fall on it, right in front of Rowan Kelly on the sideline.
That was a fantastic shot by the littlest bloke on the field, Chris Knight. He is a central junior, so I'm gladly going to wrap him there. But fantastic shot. It was a wonderful article written in the paper by Josh Leeson yesterday about Chris Knight and the fact that people like to run at him because he's a little guy. But that was an excellent, great technique he showed then with his defence.
They're up quickly. They had to on Porter, but he got the ball away. They're keeping it alive. Got a tunnel ball out there. Finally, that's Williams in 3. Approaching the halfway line through Callan Richardson. Here's the kick. In between fullback and the winger. Matt Hay looks up at the defensive line and cannot get rid of Steve Gordon, assisted by Ryan Petro. Not much in this one. Newcastle Rugby League. Diallo. Hard and straight towards the middle of the ground. That's the 40-metre line. if it was there. We can't see it, but we think it's there. That's the halfway line. This is Schmidl, representative player of the year. What a season. Here's the kick. Sumner kicking away from Smith. He's got to go away into his in-goal area. He better play at it. He's got to get back up. He's got to slide into the field of play, but I think they've slid him the other way. Or is he back?
They're saying play the ball.
He's back into the field of play. Now, I'd like to see a replay of that, because now we've seen a knock on top of his giant slide.
Well, referee Taylor there originally said play on. He was running back to mark the 10 metres, but obviously as the player got up to play the ball, it came spewing out, and so Macquarie now with a wonderful opportunity, 10 metres out with the scores level, half an hour to go. If they were to get one here, as we see on the replay, if they were to get one here, they would make West chase in conditions where you don't want to be chasing. You see there, he says get up and play it, he runs back and then the ball's thrown away.
I think Justin Smith just threw that away then, did he?
He did, yeah, he just turned around and threw it away.
Manson spinning. Can he offload?
He might have misunderstood what the referee had given.
This is Moran surveying his options. Goes left. Inching their way closer to the Rosella's goal line. First point, second half on offer. Sumner, good tackle there.
What a big set this
from
is.
Allen. Noble. It's on the ground. Chaffee's been pushed away from the football. This will bring a penalty.
Well,
Well, that was just dumb. We'll have a look at the replay of that.
But honestly, Pete, that happens every single week in this competition. So I know they're sitting it, mate. There was nothing in that.
It would have been hard for him to pull
That's
out
wrong,
of it.
Gavin.
That would have been hard for him to pull out of that. I mean, Chaffee's got the ball.
100%.
Gordon's already coming through there, and he might have shoved him.
He was trying to tackle him. If Chappie doesn't drop the ball backwards, then it is not a penalty.
Yeah, I reckon you're right there, Rowan. I think Steve Gordon's hard done by there. He was absolutely steaming up to try and belt him. And it's a big one too, because Macquarie here are going to take the lead. They're going to take the 2 points and go for the lead.
Well, a few dusty decisions by the officials this afternoon. One way or another, whichever way you look at it. As Matt Hay will just slot this one over from right in front as the clock chews its way down. Just on 27 minutes remaining in the first half. In the second half. God, time goes quick when you're having fun, isn't it, Rowan?
It's like me being at work, Pete. Sorry, I corrected it.
Mate, here's the kick. It's a beauty. 14-12. Macquarie on a roll after that penalty. And Rowan is still shaking his head. You're still not convinced, are you, mate?
Oh, just no way.
You don't need to be convinced. You think it was just blatantly obvious.
I think, it's such a close game, and things like that. If that ball doesn't go backwards, if he doesn't drop the ball, it is play on. So, full credit to Macquarie. They're in front now, and it's their opportunity to stay in front.
Well, we'd love your views. This is where Twitter can come into it. What do you think, everybody at home? Hashtag Bar TV Sports, and we'll read out your Twitter throughout the match. The tension, well, it goes without saying, alive and well here in Charlestown. Mannion gets slowly off them, grinding it outside their own 10.
Well, a decision like that could have an unintended consequence, that it might wind West up a little bit. If they feel they've been hard done by, you can see they're absolutely flying up in the fence at the moment. Macquarie have made, 17, 16, 15 metres in this set.
They've got to be disciplined here, though, Morgan. West have got to make sure, okay, it's only 2 points and there are still 26 minutes to go. So they've got to be disciplined and don't want to hear John Taylor blow another penalty.
Okay. Thoughts there from Rowan, captain coach of the Butcher boys. Here's the kick. They're up quickly on him, but they've been able to clear the kick inside the 40, but it's gone straight down the throat. And they're coming charging back up towards the 30. And that is where Callan Richardson will stand in the tackle. That's the halfway line. Porter finding Mannion. 42 metres out. Newcastle Rugby League final. Petro charges down to the 30-metre line. 22 titles so far. Been to 3 grand finals. They're going for 4 consecutive in a row. Can they do it? Under the pump here. Porter came off Macquarie. Play on.
6 to go.
Herman. Back slammed. That's the 10. This is Tafua. Stepping, weaving. Allen. Assisted by Subner. That's Brown. Williams. 5 away. Petro. Straight towards the goal mouth. Down by 2. Brown. Shafi wraps him up. Porter. Ducking, weaving.
Shot to bits on the right. They've got to go right.
Brown sees it that way. Here's the kick into the in-goal area. Dead well the Scorpions. They're back into the field of play.
I think he's going to say that I saw the linesman
This will be a penalty.
gesturing there. I think he might.
This will be a penalty.
Time off.
The linesman seemed to indicate he was doing a sort of pushing motion. I don't know what you call it, but I think he's going to say a dropout.
drop out.
Yeah, he's going to say a dropout.
Wow.
So what a big moment that is.
Well, check the replay.
I was surprised that they went the kick there, West. They had the numbers out wide. I thought they'd go through the hands. As you can see here, there was a big gap, and Macquarie was still trying to get across and cover it as the kick went in. And the second effort over the top, and it's one of those rules, isn't it? Half the time you see them penalised, half the time you see them given as dropouts, and you can never quite tell which way it's going to go.
Look at this run.
Good run.
Petro.
Big Pumba. A good run by him.
Brown. Now to Tafua. He says, what you can do, Petro. I'll try and do better. Stepping, weaving, down to the 10. Cleaned up from Jeffrey. Now to Brown. Giving away to Gordon. He finds Herman. Out the back to Smith. Flicks it in towards touch, but it didn't go into touch. It found his winger in Lamb. He says, I've got to get away from the touch line. He gives it away to Porter. He gives the dubious ball back to Porter. That's a nice shot.
Could have been a bit high.
Yeah. He's going to give a penalty, but I didn't see much in that. Let's go touchline, Rowan Kelly.
Well, I mean, it probably did collect him a little bit high, but interested to see what West do here. I know I've said it before and I sound like a broken down record, but I would be taking the 2, but I don't think they will.
Well, it was an enormous effort, wasn't it, from Ryan Lamb to get away from that touchline and even collect the football.
Yeah, they're taking the tap here. I think they've got Macquarie on the run a bit. The defence is getting a little bit ragged with a lot of offloads. So maybe they just fancy this.
With 22 titles under your belt, that comes down to confidence. This is Shillings. They want the grand final more than ever. Gordon giving away to Smith. This is Ale.
Justin Smith getting more and more involved, coming up into the back line.
Only 2 away. Brown. Stepping in the mud. Can't say that every day of the week. That was Herman. Gordon. Tafua. Are they about to put it together? Williams. Sumner's got him wrapped up. Joel Brown wants it. Doesn't go to him. Not yet anyway. Here's the kick. Where's the chasers coming through? But Matt Hay, what a catch. In goal. Back out to the 20. Well, catches like that can win your matches.
Absolutely right. That was a beauty from Matt Hay. He was under a fair bit of pressure. And if Macquarie going to win this game, it'll be defence like that that'll get them across the line, because West threw a lot at them there. 2 or 3 sets in a row, and they just kept turning up, kept making tackles. And now there's a high shot on Diallo, which might get a penalty from the referee. It doesn't. But that was huge defence from Macquarie.
Crowd saying, get off him. Tafua slow to release him. Shamidal losing it. He lost it cold.
Well, they're going to give him another chance. They've just held on in defence, and they're going to give them another chance. There's a couple of changes coming on from Macquarie as well. 2 fresh pairs of legs off the bench.
Rowan Kelly, that happened right in front of you as we go and have a look at the replay.
Yeah, I memean, that was a fantastic take by Hayde out in the in goal there. But really, the Macquarie forwards didn't want to have a bar of that set then. And, someone got a good shot on the ball on Josh Schmoedel, and they coughed it up. And now West, ample opportunity here to put themselves back in front.
They're not really following the ball carrier at the moment, West, are they?
No, same with Macquarie.
That's Herman. Fury placements coming onto the field as well for Wests. The crowd just a little bit in hush at the moment, trying to see what can unfold here. Just like all of us. Porter back to Tafua. He flicks it out the back, keeping it alive. Gordon is with the football. He'll go himself. He's lost the football.
This will be a penalty.
I'd be very surprised.
This isn't a penalty.
Oh,
no penalty.
I was about to say I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come back for the shot on Jade Porter, because he got absolutely flattened in a tackle. I think the player was trying to whack Tafua on the inside. We'll have a look on the replay. But as Jade Porter got this ball, he turned it inside. Oh, and got belted. I think it was Schmiedel coming through there. It probably
Danny
wasn't
Vaughan.
Danny Vaughan. It probably wasn't that high. So maybe a good decision there from referee Taylor. Let's have a look. Very, very slow-mo. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was across the chest. It was pretty hard, though. But you can't give a penalty for a rough tackle, only a high one. So good decision, Taylor.
He'd still pass the ball, though.
Good defence, though, from the Rosellas, driving the Scorps. And then we've got an injury here. Time off. We'll stop the clock with 18 minutes and 48 seconds remaining here.
Always a bit of a worry to see that when you see one of the opposing players calling for time off and calling for the medic. That usually means they can tell something's wrong. I think it might be the number 5 there.
DLO,
Malik Diallo. Yeah, he's getting to his feet now, so he looks like he's okay. Be plenty of relief for Macquarie. He's such a good weapon for them out wide. He looks a bit crook, but he's going to carry on. They're a bit bunched up though, you can see. You might be able to see when we go back to the wide shot here, Macquarie. The whole side, they're not covering a great deal of ground, so I think fatigue might be starting to set in the last quarter of this game.
Well, we've got 1,500 people watching this live right now. Glued to your smartphone or wherever you might be watching this coverage. This is the Newcastle Rugby League, the toughest rugby league competition in the country, Rugby League. How can this one unfold? Smith seeing this go into his grasp. That's the 30-metre mark. And that's the shot there from Noble and Subner.
Yep.
Lost ball.
Yep.
Lock on by Macquarie.
Taylor will put down the scrum, 40 out.
I know that went against West, but that was still a poor. I went with West actually from Macquarie, but that was a poor carry. In regards to poor ball handling. I just see it on the replay now. He never really had it that well, and ball just squirted out. But no, you get that in these conditions.
There's 2 points in it. 17 to go.
That's the game now, isn't it? It's just who hangs onto the ball and who can come up with something.
This is David Dryden. I think he's just spilt it as well.
Yep.
Fans love that. Who've travelled across from Toronto or Western Suburbs. This is it on the replay. Just take a look at this. David Dryden. Heavy shot from Jeffrey and also Allen in there, and the ball just spills out.
Yeah, not much in it. The ball just came out. And we've seen that all day. I noticed the 4 o'clock chill is in a little bit late, about 20 minutes late. It's starting to get a bit nippy up here.
A few tweets coming in. Directed to you, Rowan. Any call against Wests is the right call.
I probably won't disagree with that.
Now to Moran. Setting it up this time for Denny Vaughan. Running Engels. Dryden in there, assisted by Petro. Back to Vaughan. Last tackle. Sumner. He's going to go high. Where's Justin Smith? Didn't go anywhere near Justin Smith.
Well, I was about to say it was well handled by Callan Richardson.
Went straight to Richardson.
And the ball came out the back and Porter's had to fall on it. So they got away with one there, West.
Macquarie got their tail up at the moment. West forwards a bit slow to get back.
Let's see how far they can come off their own goal line, the Rosellas. The Scorpions not allowing them to get past their 20 so far. That's Schmidl in defence. Now they're out to the 20-metre line. And that's the 4th tackle. So they've done well here, the Scorps. This is Mannion. Taking the shot there of Travis Edwards.
25 metres.
Look for the kick. They'll need a good clearing kick. Can they boot it downfield? They need to. And it falls into the possession of Manson. Penalty to the Scorpions. Well, let's have a look at the replay.
It's just saying offside here. It wasn't. I don't think it was anything to do with the tackle from Steve Gordon, although he did sort of have to come to a stop there with his knees. But I think he's just said offside.
Well, here's the kick.
He was very deep as he took the kick, Jade Porter, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if he wasn't back to 10.
But just look at this. The ball went the other way. Nonetheless, Mitch Manson's done well to get his hands to it.
Very brave. What a chance now for Macquarie. 15 minutes to go. They're going to start a set 30 metres out. If they want to make the grand final, they can nearly put 1 foot in there if they score and convert here. Trouble for Schmidl.
Time off. A few cramps, no doubt, would be coming into it this time of the match as well.
I have no doubt, but Josh is a pretty tough customer, so this might be good with the Scorps.
Blake Allen just going over.
They're tapping him on the leg. He might have got hit in the old the middle region, so he's having a bit of a laugh. I think the boys are laughing, so I think he got a bit of a tickle in between the legs, I think.
Let's look for the tickle between the legs.
Yep. It was Steve Gordon's head.
It was a bit better than a tickle. There.
Let's see what they can do here. Sumner going wide. Could this well be a pivotal point of the match? Unfolding right here. Inching their way close, aren't they? Time off again. We'll stop the clock.
Held up. He got over the line.
Yeah, Royce Jeffrey, so powerful out there. Had the defenders backpedaling, and that was only a good scramble from West to keep him up.
Spread deep, aren't they, the Scorps? To the commentary side, out here on the western side. This is Sumner giving it away to Vaughan. Quick play the ball. Away to Edwards. He goes himself. Desperation there from Petro. Last tackle now for the Scorpions. Here's Moran kicking. Rosellas flop on it, just on their own goal line. What a match. 13 to go.
Steve Gordon it was. Great defence from West. You could see what Sumner was trying to do there, but he couldn't get it through the line.
Gallen again in the tackle. That's his second from 2 shots. Guinea going to make a third. He can. He's in there again.
Vaughan came in like a wild man there. Arms akimbo. This really is just a war now, isn't it?
Last tackle. Kick goes straight down the guts of the field. Slipping over is Manson and Williams combining with Richardson to drive him back. Dealoo. Giving away to Matt Hay. 4 in there from the Rosellas. Finally wrapped up from Brown and Herman.
Oh, that
It was close.
That was flat.
You can see the difference that one mistake can make in this game. A knock-on from West about 6 sets ago has kept them penned in their own area, and Macquarie have had the best of the field position ever since. And even now, this has been a pretty ordinary set, but they're already up to the halfway.
Here's the kick. Ball trying to go into touch, but Richardson's out there. And dives on the ball. This is Mannion. Straight and hard into Gallen. And Danny Vaughan. $11 to go. Winner to play in the grand final. Only a goal in it. If we're locked up, we go to extra time for 5, then we play unlimited. They're inside the Scorps half.
There's a couple of fans offering some advice here.
To the referee or to yourself?
No, the referee. There's a few referee experts up here with plenty to say. There they go.
Even the kids are involved. Inspiring one day to be out there. Let's go touchline to Rowan Kelly.
From where I am, I'm not going to disagree. West have been in front of John every single tackle this set, so I think they're actually, I'm going to agree with them here. Even now, look at them. They're all in front of him, and yet there will not be a penalty.
Dryden and Petro combining to stop the Scorpions on their 40. Just outside the 40's the kick. Ryan Lamb. He goes away and picks it up on his 10. He looks up at the defence and takes the shot there of Noble.
Terrific
just outside his 20. Was a terrific kick.
Yeah, terrific again from Moran and some. Oh,
They've lost the football.
That's what happens.
Colin Richardson in a pressure situation has put it down.
That's what can happen. Mick Moran asked the question there. He put it down, hit the turf, and split the fullback and the winger. And it really does leave West no option but to try and ruck it out. And if you do that, there's always a chance of making a mistake in these conditions. And that was how it proved. They've played the territory game better in the second half, Macquarie.
Royce Jeffrey up out of the line there, and poor old Cal just put the eyes up and had a bit of a look there. Macquarie could almost seal the match in this set.
I hate to be the naysayer and the bearer of bad news, but I've seen this so many times, and I'm sure you have as well, Rowan, where Wests have been in these positions. They've been hanging by a thread. They defend and keep them out and then go at the other end and score. Macquarie have got to kill them off here, or it'll be a very nervous last 10 minutes.
Oh, that's exactly right. They haven't won 3 competitions in a row for no reason, and they're going to, Macquarie are going to give themselves every opportunity here, and at least they have to get another set out of this.
Yeah.
That's Manson. That's Briggs. Lock forward in Blake Gallen. 10 minutes remaining. Noble. They're close. That's Adam Grew. Picked up by Mannion. They can't put him on his back. Noble kicking for himself. Justin Smith has to force it dead. Goal line dropout here for the Rosellas. The Scorpions will get it back.
Yeah, perfect kick. It's a simple game, rugby league. In these conditions, put it in the end goal. There was nothing he could have possibly done with it, Justin Smith. The absolute worst result that could come from that kick was a goal line dropout.
Well, the goal line dropout's just gone 10 metres.
That's a
knock on.
A West knock on.
The West knock on. We'll have a look at the replay if we can of that.
The short one's not a bad option.
Well, they tried to catch them napping, didn't they?
But the way the kicks have been going, the dropouts have been going, they haven't been getting much distance anyway, so you may as well jam it in short and try and get it back. And it very nearly worked for them.
Well, you love to do something different, and especially with only 8 minutes remaining in the match.
Numbers on the short side here.
Didn't quite go off for the Rosellas. This is Jeffrey. He barges his way into Shillings. And also Peter Mannion. 7 minutes remaining. A spot in the grand final against Lakes. It awaits the victors. Noble giving it away to Moran. Juggled by Briggs. Desperate defence from the minor premiers. Ball spills out. Picked up by Lamb. And he comes away with it.
Another
to the
chance.
10-metre line. Another chance gone begging here for the Scorpions.
That's it. Another chance. They might regret this in a few minutes.
Hitting hard, like we've only been playing 5 minutes though, the Scorpions. They've still got that in them.
Great
They
run by
know.
Lawrence Shillings.
Inspirational run. They need to look to possibly their experience. Away to Porter. They go out wide to Williams. He finds a way. He's down the halfway. Taking the shot. Back to Mannion. Here's a gap. Good shot by Travis Edwards.
They've got the roll on here, West.
They're making good go forward. Hey, he'll see this ball go into touch. 10 metres out from his own line.
Macquarie won't be upset about that.
Not at all. It's almost been like rugby union today, hasn't it? Once a team's stuck up its own end of the field, it's very, very hard to get out. And West there, it needed that half break to get them in a decent bit of field position, which they really haven't had for about 15 minutes.
They need a big defensive set here, West. They need to turn the ball over and get an opportunity. If not, Macquarie are going to go a long way to do this. And I can't even remember the last time a minor premier's been out the back door in this competition. Can't remember it.
Long time ago. For our viewers that may not be 100% across the Newcastle Rugby League, Western Suburbs, since 2011, they've played in 4 grand finals and won the past 3. They're going for 4 grand finals in a row, but the hurdle, a big hurdle, is in front of them right now with 6 minutes to go even to get into the grand final. And that hurdle comes the way of the Scorpions.
It's been a very choppy set this. They've made about 10 metres in 3 tackles, and Blake Gallen, he straightens it up, absolutely belts it forward. Great run.
Herman wraps him up there, Morgan. Here's the kick. Subner outside the 40. What a kick! Callan Richardson's got to field it in the in-goal area and get back into the field of play. What a shot by Royce Jeffrey. They want the grand final more than anyone, and that's, of course, the error picked up by Shamito. What a shot. If they can score off the back of this, they deserve to be in the grand final.
That's the defence that says we want to be there.
They deserve to be there no matter if that shot was or not. 6 more tackles. Back to Briggs. Safua wraps him up. 4 minutes remaining in the final. Macquarie through Allen. He charges ahead. Put down there by Shillings.
They're all set up to the right, Pete.
4 to go. A spot in the grand final awaits. Back to Gallen. He puts it into the in-goal area. They're flying through. I think Randall Briggs might have scored the try. Here's up the try that's going to put them in the grand final. I think they'll celebrate long into the night yet. They've still got 3 minutes to go. But Randall Briggs has put Macquarie up by 18 points to 12 with a kick to come.
Mick Moran, they've been doing it all day. They've been buying a ticket in the raffle with those little kicks into the in-goal, and finally it came up for them. Randall Briggs just won the race. I reckon when we look on this replay, it'll be about simultaneous, but that's good enough to award the try. You could see them set up to the right-hand side. The crowd's gone absolutely tonto here today, and it was all on the back of that big defence. As we see here, Moran stuck it on the boot, and Briggs got there first, or got there at least at the same time as Ryan Lamb. But that was that defence coming with West coming off their own line. Macquarie came up and went bang, and then went bang again. They want to be in the grand final, and if this kick goes over, they will be.
And the final bang was the touchdown. And look at the crowd in the background. They're getting closer by the minute. An important kick though. 18-12. Time off here with 2.5 minutes remaining.
I think we're going to see the minor premiers out.
Minor premiers. The club championship side. under the pump, foreign territory. They've both met twice this year back in round 5. West knocked them off by 15 to 8. Round 12, West defeated them by 26 to 18. And in the final, 6-point ball game.
Get your earplugs out, Pete. And Rowan, if this kick goes over, there's every chance the tin on the top of this roof is going to come off.
Matt Hay, let's go touchline to Rowan.
That was a fantastic try. Mick Moran certainly showing his experience. Let's not forget he kicked the winning field goal in Golden Point for Maitland a few years ago into the strongest breeze I've seen at number 1 sports ground.
Here's the kick. It's moved to the right. So whilst there's life, there's hope for the Rosellas.
Well,
they'll need a score here. We've got 2 minutes to go. Can they do it?
We did say Golden Point.
Barry Moore's out of his chair. He's giving so many instructions to the Macquarie players here. This kick-off is very dangerous. I'd almost plug it long.
It's got to go the 10. They're coming through. I think they'll go high and
They've
come
got it.
down with it, the Rosellas, but they've turned it over. And Randall Briggs, the try scorer, comes back into the line, and he's found himself down 40 metres away. 2 minutes to go in the final. The Scorpions.
The Scorps can't shut up shop here. They've got to give themselves every opportunity. They can't just play percentages. They need to get the ball down the other end as quickly as possible. Let West ruck it out from their own end. And West, on the other hand, need to not panic too much. There's still 2 minutes to go. They're going to give themselves another crack with the ball. But they need to get this ball in decent field position.
That's Blake Gallen. He storms onto it.
He's a candidate for man of the match today, Blake Gallen. He's been absolutely sensational. Whoever wins this game.
That's Isaac Briggs. Like a pig in the mud. 30 metres out from the line. Noble. 1.5 minutes to go in the final. Moran, he's kicking. Where's the chasers? Ryan Lamb. He goes away and slides, and he's going to be back slammed. He's not going to get back into the field of play. Another goal line dropout with a minute to go.
Well, if Macquarie play this correctly, if they do the right thing here, West should not get the ball back. A minute to go, 72 seconds. They're going to try the short kick-off, but it's too long.
It's gone to the 20s. We come back to the live shot. They tried the short one, and Simon Allen runs straight into Simon Williams. 58 seconds to go. Winner goes through to the grand final. Macquarie, last been to the grand final and won it back in 1991 over Wests that year at Harker Oval.
Barry Moore's fidgeting. He's jumping up and down on the spot now. He's getting through. It's like aerobics Oz style down there.
It's Barry Moore's last year as coach as well. What a fitting way if they can hang on here and take him as well as themselves through to the 2015 Newcastle Tillys Cup Grand Final. They're up quickly. Subner, he says let's kick it in a touch and wind down the clock.
15 seconds.
15 seconds to go.
Is Taylor going to call time off here? I don't believe that rule applies. I don't think that rule applies.
He won't.
6 seconds to go.
Yes.
Time off. Time off with 5 seconds to go.
Oh, gotta love John.
Well, that's the
Gotta
equation.
love John.
Gotta love him. And if you're going to love the Rosellas, there's the clock. 4 seconds to go.
What have they got? What
They've got to go 90 odd metres to make the grand final. Have the Rosellas got it in their tank, or will the Scorpions go through to the grand final? Macquarie, they're through to the grand final. They've knocked off the minor premierships and denied Western Suburbs their 4th grand final appearance in consecutive years. Well done to the club. They haven't been and won the grand final since 91. It's been a long time between drinks. Nail now take on Lakes United in what an epic grand final. Get your tickets early. Gee, we got to pack the concourses out.
I think the Newcastle Rugby League are very happy with that result today, and I'm sure there'll be a bigger than expected crowd at Hunter Stadium next Sunday, and it's fantastic to see so many teams that'll be represented next week. You know, like West have been the dominant team in all grades most of the year and got the club championship, but they're only going to be featured once next weekend, which is going to be fantastic. And it starts today, hopefully, with my mighty Butcher Boys in the under-19s with a win over Maitland will be lovely. But be an early start for me next week, Pete.
They better get a good night's sleep the night before. It could be a long day.
Lucky I'm on school holidays. Even better.
Even better.
What a cracker of a game, eh?
What a cracker of a game. Look at these celebrations. Look at Barry Moore joining with his players.
He was dead set doing. He was half an inch away from doing a cartwheel, Barry Moore. I know he nearly threw his hamstring out dancing on the sideline last week. Look at him down there. He's absolutely jubilant. So is Adam Bettridge. It's been a long time for Macquarie. And you can see
I think it's 20 years. I think they played in the either 94 or 95. They got beat by Curry. I think it was Curry's last part of their three-peat that they did. But full credit to the Scorps. You know, they've had some lean years. They've come well the last couple of years. They've got a wonderful committee out there who are doing well, and they're only going to go forward next year with Adam Bettridge as coach. And the fact that he's trying to re-sign all juniors and stuff like that, I really admire him for that, because that's something we want. You know, like we all bring our juniors through, and you grow up playing for your home club, and that's who you want to do. And seeing what they're doing, and I know the fact that team that just won then have got a fair few juniors in that team, but. Full credit to West. Maybe the dynasty is over. They've had a pretty good run for years, but we know with West that they'll come back bigger and stronger next year and be better for the experience. But fantastic for Macquarie. Some blokes in that team like them risking Denny Vaughan to play today. That's fantastic, and full credit to Denny. He's been one of the best players in the competition. He's won the Player of the Year a couple of times. I think he even won the Player of the Year one year, and Macquarie didn't even make the finals. So that's how highly regarded and what a wonderful player he is. And next week he gets the opportunity to run out in Hunter Stadium with his beloved Scorpions.
What you say is absolutely right, Rowan, about Western Suburbs. I mean, it's 2010 since they were last not involved on Grand Final Day in first grade, so they deserve a great deal of credit for what they've done over the last few years with that 3 in a row and the Grand Final they made before that. But it's all about Macquarie today, and they'll be a very tough opponent for Lakes. Lakes only just scraped past them in that qualifying final in the first week of the semis. That's going to be an absolute ripper and a big crowd, and with, as I said at the top of the coverage, 7 teams out of 8 are represented on Grand Final Day. So there's going to be plenty of people packed in there, and it's going to be a big day. And I reckon we'll be out there. What do you reckon, Pete? We might set up there about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we might do an overnight stay. Get the sleeping bag.
Bacon and egg rolls. And
I'll be there at 6, boys.
You'll be there?
I'll be there at 6.
Sensational.
Be nice.
All right, then. Well, what a day for Macquarie. 18 points to 12 to book a spot in the 2015 Newcastle Tooheys Cup Grand Final next Sunday at 3 o'clock.
I'm interested to see. I saw Dean Noonan watching today, and full credit for Dean getting his Lakes boys there, and I'm sure he's bloody happy that they didn't play out there today. But I mean, he won't be even able to take anything out of that game today. He just needs to prepare his team as well as they can for next Sunday. And Macquarie will go in there with full of confidence, obviously after that win today. But they'll need to go back to the drawing board and see what they've done in the past, see what Lakes have done in the past to see what they've won. And it's going to be an interesting day next Sunday. I honestly reckon it could be Golden Point. We might get the longest game again next week. What do you reckon?
All we can know out of that game today, all that you could possibly take out of it, is that Macquarie got a hell of a lot of desire and they don't give up. And in that game, in that last 5 minutes, you knew West were going to come at them, but Macquarie got in first and they came up that big set of defence which led to the try. It was the sign of a team that was just desperate to get to the grand final and was going to do whatever they could to get there. So that'll be a worry for Dean Noonan, because he's going to face an absolutely ferocious Macquarie team next week.
7 days' time. We'll be at Hunter Stadium. We can't wait, can we, fellas?
Certainly not. Sensational.
Indeed. We'll be on air from around 10 a.m. on Grand Final Day. We're covering all grades and building up to the big one at 3 o'clock. What a story it is for Lakes United as well. A few years ago, they couldn't even win a game. They're now through to the Grand Final. Macquarie haven't won a Grand Final since 91. Sets up a remarkable Grand Final here in the Tooheys Cup Newcastle Rugby League. We urge everyone to get out to Hunter Stadium and support the Newcastle Rugby League. If you're not in the area, alternatively, switch on to Bar TV. But if you're in Newcastle, Hunter Stadium, first time the Grand Final has been played there. We should get a big crowd, and we are really looking forward to it. Well, fellas, Macquarie, they're off to celebrate tonight. I don't think Barry Moore will let them celebrate too much, because it's going to be a big week for them, and they haven't played their grand final yet. That's what he'll be saying. It's next week. It's 7 days away. Let's not go off too early. Let's put a lid to it, and if we win next week, let's have the party of a lifetime out there. It's the Battle of the Lakes, isn't it?
Yeah,
West
that's right.
versus East.
Yeah,
the
we've seen a
Battle
lot
of the Lakes.
It's been a pretty lean period for the Lake Macquarie based teams. We've seen a lot of Cessnock, Maitland, Curry, Western Suburbs in the grand finals over the last few years. So it's good to have that bit of diversity. I think it's good for the league.
Okay, then, well, Rowan, thanks very much for coming down today. Did a stellar job down on the sideline. We really appreciate your efforts, and you've been able to stay dry. How did you do that? I don't know.
Well, it didn't rain during first day, which was fantastic. So I'm glad I didn't do the lower grade games. I was Starey. He was struggling out there with the rain. So
Good stare. Could be officiating next week in the grand final, or John Taylor. We'll find that out throughout the week as well. Whoever gets the job will do a fantastic job to officiate in the 2015 grand final. Well, I think we'll wrap things up here. The crowd has pretty much filtered over to the dressing sheds. They want to be with their supporters. But until next week, big day, 9 hours of live coverage on Bar TV from 10 o'clock all the way through to 6 p.m. at night. If Lakes or Macquarie win, we might even go and do a live stream of the celebrations afterwards. And no doubt, Morgan, you'll be coming along for the ride no matter which way it goes next week.
Yeah, I'll be there. 9 packets of lozenges in my pocket. I'll be ready to go.
And hopefully you're not as deaf as you are today. How are the ears before we say goodbye?
Look, they're not too bad. I think I can keep the legal action on hold for at least another week.
Okay, then. So we look forward to consulting with your lawyers in another 8 days. Okay, then. Well, here we go. Hunter Stadium next week on behalf of everyone here at Bar TV, headed up by Jack Ancliffe. It's been a stellar job putting this production together under difficult circumstances. Always hard when it's pouring down with rain in the build-up to set up, but we've done an outstanding job. And we'll be back on deck from the Channel 9 commentary box next weekend at Hunter Stadium. Until then, it's bye for now.